Well, hello. I'm going to go through some news articles here and also to give you four things to be prepared for to make sure you're prepared for the future events getting ready to take place. Jesus is the only way. There is no other way to the Father. He lived a perfect 33 years. He died and he resurrected and he conquered death. And he's the only way to the Father. There is no other way. Now hit that like button, please, so we can get the algorithm to share this out with many people. Now, the reason why I'm going to bring up 4 points that I think are very key for us for in the future is because some of the things we're going to look at. Nearly 1 million chickens slaughtered in Minnesota and now another 1.2 million at Iowa farm where the bird flu has been found. For the past 3 years, have been reporting on how many times we've had bird flu going on and eggs being contaminated. Now, not everybody can have their own chickens. We do at our church, and we typically people that come to church and us ourselves and my mom and dad, we have homegrown eggs where we know that we're safe from all the GMOs and all these things. But nevertheless, even if you have your own chickens, we know that pestilences are going to make their way, famines, animals, humans are going to die in the end times. Now, I'm not here to scare you and fearmonger you. That's why at the end of this, I'm going to give you 4 points that I feel are very key. But this keeps being a trend, either by bird flu or either by factories burning down or just the government killing off because, for instance, they don't want you to eat cow and stuff anymore. Well, also the CDC alarms that a cow killing tick has went across 19 American states when already we are suffering where butchers and farmers are telling us beef prices are going to go up double and triple come this winter. We're not even in winter yet. They're saying double and triple for beef prices. I'm in one of the states where this has been found in Indiana, but they're saying Arkansas, Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Indiana, Kentucky, Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri, New Jersey, New York, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, South Carolina, Tennessee, Virginia, and West Virginia have had this Asian longhorn tick that has been discovered back in 2017 on a sheep farm. Well, it's been still circulating throughout the United States and still causing some mayhem. But either way, with these things that keep happening and have been happening, like I said, from factory fires or all of a sudden a farm caught on fire or ticks or bird virus, whatnot, there's things happening. So that's where I want to get to the first 2 points. The first 2 points of us. First, number one, is having a trusting relationship with God. I think it's very key that we absolutely trust everything that is going on and that happens and have our trust in God. It's easy to say we trust, but when we are tried, the trust is tried. We have to have a trusting relationship, guys, because Matthew 24:42 says, "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come." 2 Timothy 3:16 says, "All scripture is given by inspiration of God, and is profitable for doctrine, for reproof, for correction, for instruction in righteousness." This is why it's so key for us to have a relationship that isn't just praying and talking with God, but we read his word, we study his word. And a lot of people say, well, I work, I don't have time. You can make time. You get up early enough to seek the Lord. Jesus got up early enough to seek the Lord. I know people at work that get up early enough to seek the Lord and they don't bring these excuses. Yeah, not everybody is a pastor. And just because I'm a pastor, which I don't care about that title, I'd rather be called a servant. And I'm not some online YouTube pastor. I'm an actual ordained pastor through the Lord and through paperwork. But either way, I still have a life and I still occasionally work for myself doing side jobs. I'm not always just sitting at home. I have a busy life as well too, but the key thing is to wake up and seek the Lord in the morning, trust the Lord with what we're going through. The second point I want to give you is food. The reason why I say food is because look at what's happening. Plus, they're trying to take away beef. They're trying to take away all these things because they don't want you to eat it. Well, look, you can grow some vegetables in your house. It's not easy, but it is doable. If you have a little bit of land, grow some vegetables throughout the time. And also, I'm not saying over hoard things like some people can do, but we do remember the story of Joseph in the book of Genesis, where a famine was coming and he was told to save some food back. We have had a lot of mason jars and vacuum sealed things where you can vacuum seal rice, black beans, beans in general, dry beans, brown rice. These things last a while. And even if they go over the time they say that's last, the only thing that happens is they lose some protein, but they're still good. With rice, you may have to occasionally sift out some weevils, which are little bitty bugs that are very common to get when you store rice. You just siphon them out, sift them out, which isn't hard, just like if you were draining water out of macaroni and cheese. But I do think it's key to have some food on hand that can potentially be for not just maybe anything that can happen, but at the same point in time, we know what we're told in the book of James that in the end times, the rich people will increase their wealth and it will be harder on the individuals that are us, the servants of the world, as you could put it. It is key for us to have alternative sources, especially if you're a grandparent or a parent. We have to have some food, but let's not over hoard. That's why step one was trust God. He's going to bring something. Now, as I get to other things, the reason why I trust God, because look at some of the signs we've been getting. The Lord said, as the days of Noah, before I get to the third and fourth point. As the days of Noah, there's been lots of floods, there's been lots of dry ups, there's been lots of heat, there's been lots of drought, there's been lots of tornadoes, earthquakes, volcanoes, hurricanes, meteors flying through the sky, lunar eclipses, solar eclipses, blood moons, blue moons, all types of things. We were told that these things would happen. Well, we're seeing that this is one of the third largest floods that have happened in Brazil since 1941. As you can see pictures here, it's right up on everything. We already seen this video. They repeated it twice. This is a river, I may add. I mean, it's pretty big. Trees being carried off. Looks like that is a boat. Doesn't look like it's in really good shape. But either way, guys, I mean, these signs of the times we are in, I mean, look, just catastrophic flooding in the Dominican Republic, the largest rainfall event ever that has happened in this place here. I mean, if you're there, you're surrounded on every side. You have nowhere to go. I mean, these events just keep escalating, guys. Just keep escalating worldwide. And a lot of people are still sleeping and acting like there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on. And that's why I said point 1 and 2, especially point 1, trust the Lord. Trust him with all your heart, all your might. Because it's worth it. Man, that's a lot of water. I don't know how many more events are going to have to happen for people to take heed. The third point of the 4, let's go over point 1 and 2 again, is have a trusting relationship with God. 2, have alternative food sources. Not over hoarding, but doing like Joseph did. 3 is water. We save a lot of milk jugs or glass jugs, and we store water. Just for an emergency, you may never know. Let's say power goes out. You can't flush your toilets if power goes out and if it's out for a long time. And then you can't also have operating water. It's good to have some operating water systems. Water should be free in general because water is something that God created for us to have and is important. But ultimately, that's why step one, trust in God, because if you do, Jesus is the bread of life and he is the water of life. But at the same point, we do have physical needs. And we know that water systems have been poisoned worldwide for quite some time, and it's important to have some water. I expect nothing to really go any different in 2024. It hasn't went any different in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. It's only escalated. So 2024 is not very long around the corner. We're about a month away from 2024, and we see prices increasing worldwide. So if there's any way, I mean, even if you have a well or you don't like the tap water, I mean, you can always, boil this water if need be. But either way, you need to have alternative water sources. And the fourth point is if you have a chance, try to find a alternative heat source. Because I really feel that in the next few years, it's going to be really impossible to heat your house. And that is a mandatory law per per all 50 states, United States, that you have to have heat or it's undeemable. You have to have running water, or it's an undeemable home. It can be condemned. You have to have running water and you have to have heat. I've been contemplating for quite some time on how to get a wood burning stove into my brick home because I can barely afford to run my heat. Last month we ran it 4 days out of the month last month because there was 4 cold days. It was $99 just to run my heat. That's the only thing that runs gas. And it was just 4 days. Imagine if we have 31-day month and it's in the teens. It'd be like a $500 bill. I can't afford that, neither can anyone else. So that's why these 4 points. The first one, above anything else, which a lot of people don't put, they put God in there, but they don't put it first. Trust the Lord. 2, save up some brown beans and rice and things like these, black beans, things that you may not necessarily like to eat, but there's protein. 3, water in some jugs. 4, have an alternative heat source because things are getting rough out here. But ultimately, just like Matthew 24:42 says, watch and pray. Seek the Lord on a daily basis because we are in the biblical end times where it is time. Yes, you hear mockers and scoffers saying, they've been saying this for 2,000 years. Let them mock and scoff because the fact of the matter is, it's coming sooner than anyone thinks. The day or hour, nobody knows, but it's coming. The signs are here that the Lord said look out for. And all I know is 1 Corinthians 2:2, which I'm going to go to that real quick. And this is the simplicity that we need to stay to. For I determined not to know anything among you, or anything among you, save Jesus Christ and him crucified. For I determined not to know anything among you, save Jesus Christ and him crucified. Most important aspect. So may God bless you. Hit the like button. And until we meet again tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, we will be doing the book of John, chapter 19, where we're getting into the very pinnacle of Jesus' last days, the crucifixion. So join us at 7 p.m. Eastern. Normally, I do the book of John Bible studies on Wednesday, but because a lot of people travel on Wednesday, the day before Thanksgiving, I figured it was best to try to work this around the era where people will still be at home and able to watch. So at 7 p.m. Eastern tomorrow, we will be doing the book of John, chapter 19. We are getting down to the last 2 chapters. After this is only chapter 20 and 21, and then we're done with the book of John. And we'll be moving on to other books in the Bible. And also November 30th, it's a Thursday, the last day of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern, we are doing a Bible trivia. I figure it's good to come in and let's just have a good time. Keep our eyes off the things that are going on for a little bit of time and to fellowship in the Lord in a way of having fun. And to also test our knowledge of the Bible, which is always a good thing to challenge the mind. So much love to you all. May God bless you all. If you like videos like this, hit the like button and subscribe. Much love to you all, and may God bless you.